Welcome to Rusty's Sudoku stream. Not doing a late night tonight. It is evening, but I've got about 2 hours before the print job finishes up. Maybe a little bit more than that, almost 2.5, less than 3. And hopefully I'll be done early enough that I can make a run to pick up some more filament, because I'd kind of like to do this print job in some gray filament as opposed to white, being that it is kind of what it is, an enclosure for electronics output. All right, let's see. It says this is solvable, so let's see what we can do with that. And if you've been watching me, you know I like to do this fairly quickly, get started on it anyway. So we got 3's across the bottom, got 3 possibilities there, 2 here. That means that's going to be a 3, not that. Let's see, how about here? We've got, well, that one's going to be 3, and that means this is not that, that's 3. All right, 2, maybe. How about 8? Well, not 8 yet. Well, maybe. Yep, got an 8 here. That means this one's going to be an 8. And up here we got 2 possibilities for an 8. There and there. Over here. Let's see. That's an 8. We get 2 possibilities here and 3 possibilities here. So we'll come back for 8. 7s. Well, we've got a 7 here. Not a lot of help otherwise. One of these 2 will be a 7. Got 3 possibilities here. One of these 2 will be a 7. That saves a little bit here. One of these 2 is going to be a 7. That's 2 possibilities for a 7 there. Unfortunately, I've got way too many possibilities here and here. All right, and here. How about 6s? We got a 6 there. One of these 2 is going to be a 6. That's a 6, so we've got 4 possibilities here, but we've also got 2 possibilities here now. Not a 5, 6. Up here we've got 3 possibilities. Not a lot of help there either. We got a 6 here. Drops us to 2. Nope, another 2 possibilities for a 6 here. And let's see, we still have too many possibilities here. 3 of them. And over here we've got at least 5. All right. How about 5s? We got this 5 here. Way too many possibilities there and here. Yeah, that's not working out well at the moment. How about 4? We've got a 4. This becomes a 4, not a 7, a 4 here, because this and this, meaning it has to be in this row. And there's one here, so that's going to be a 4. Up here, we've got 2 possibilities now. And here, we've got 3 possibilities. And we've got 2 possibilities here. So that's going to do it for 4s. 7s, 8s. How about 8s? We've gone through and gotten some of the 8s at least. How about 9s? We've got 9 here. So one of these 2 will be a 9. That means this one's a 9. And that locates this 9. We've got now 3 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. 4 possibilities here. And 3 possibilities here. So that's not going to do it. How about 1s now? Well, we got 2 possibilities for a 1 here. That 1, 4 means that I can do, or we can start looking at then having narrowed down some other stuff. For example, neither of these can be a 5, but we're still looking at 5 possibilities for a 5 here. Got one in the middle row already anyway. 3 possibilities for a 5 here. for now. However, we do know one of these three is going to be a 5. Still nothing narrowing that down. And yes, we are just doing normal Sudoku rules. Nothing special here. I don't tend to run those. Hey, dude, welcome. Keo just popped up behind me. He's in the shadow of the mic. There he is, poking his head out above my head. All right. How about 2s again? So we get 2 possibilities for a 2 here. Still have 4 possibilities there. 3 possibilities here. 2 down here. 3 possibilities here now. Still too many here. 4 here. 2 here already marked. 4 possibilities here. So we're done with 2s. 3s, I think we got everything marked already. Yep, 3s are all marked. 4s are, let's see, we get 2 possibilities there. Does this help over here? Well, we still have 3 possibilities here and here. All right, not a good run there on 4s. How about 5? We got 3 possibilities on 5s here, 4 here. I think I said 5 earlier, but nope, just 4s. 3 possibilities here. Here, nope. We get 3 possibilities for 5 there. There, plenty here as well. All right, 6s. And once we get done with this run, I am going to switch over to doing the usual, start filling things in and figure out that. And that tends to end up with a lot of things get solved fairly quickly once we get a couple more digits in. But that's it for 5s, I think it was. Yeah, 6s. 7s are kind of all marked out that I can. 8s, same deal. Hold on. We can now mark 2 more 8s here. These 2, that's an 8. So yeah, we got all the 8s that we can mark out marked. And 9s, I think we're in pretty much the same boat. I've got, okay, we can put 2 9s in here now. That means we got 1s, 2s, 3, 4. So we can put a 5 here and here, 6 and a 7 here and here. All right, that helps a little bit, or at least it gives me the layout of helping. All right, unfortunately, I still have 3 possibilities for 9 here. However, this square is now filled. I cannot put anything else in there at this point that doesn't already have a home. So come down here. The one we're missing, we got a 1, we got 2 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 6, 7 and 7. So the 2 that are missing are 9s. And it looks like that's going to be a 9, 6, 2, and 7. That means this will be a 9, not an 8, 9. This becomes a 9, not an 8, 9. That becomes a 4. So this is not a, no, not a 4. Not a 4, not a 4. This would have been a 9 before. All right, over here we've got 1s. One of these 2 is going to be 2 now. 3 up here. One of these 2 is going to be a 4. We get a 5 coming in here someplace. Looks like going to be right down here. 6, 7. So that's going to be a 7. Over here we've got 1 in one of these 2 places. 2, 3, 4. One of these 2 places is going to be a 5. Don't know which yet. We'll see if we can get that real quick. Or real soon. Up here we've got a 1. One of these 2, or one of these 3 is going to be a 2. 3, 4. One of these 3 is going to be a 5. And one of these 2 is going to be a 6. This can't be a 7 anymore, so that's a 7. 8 and 9. And we got a 1 here, so that can't be a 1. So we got something wrong. Let's back out some of this stuff. Let's assume that I got something wrong in this square. So it looks like one of these 2 should be a 9, but apparently not. Apparently 9 is going to be one of these 2. So let's make that a 7, turn that into a 2. Nope, that breaks things too. So if we make this a 9, 7, 2, and a 6, doesn't change 7s here. However, we now can put, what is it, a 2 here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5's in one of these 3. 6's in one of these 2. Got a pair for 7's, and again, we got the 3 possibilities for 5. That pair of 7's and 6's doesn't mean, it means not something else. Oh, one of these 2 is going to be a 6. We already identified that. I'm not going to clear up these yet, but this one's going to be a 1. That makes that a 7. Let's see. One of these 3 is going to be a 1. We got one of these 2 being a 1 over here. One of these 2 is going to be a 1. That's not going to be a 9 anymore. So that's a 9, 1, 4, and 5. That makes one of these 3 a 5. It can't work anything with that at this point. All right, pair of 8, pair of 6's. One's going to be one of these 2. 2 going to be one of these 2. We got a 3 up here, 4. Don't know about 5 yet. Possibly one of these 2, possibly one of the others. 6. We've got the 6 there. We got these 2 as possibles. 7 and 8. We've got those 2 as possible. I'll come back to that. The 5 is the one that's tripping me up. Yeah. Up here we've got one of these 3 is going to be a 1. We got 2 possibilities for 2, 3, 4, and 3 possibilities for 5, 6, 7, and 2 possibilities for 8. Okay, well, one of these 3 is a 1. Haven't narrowed down that 2 yet. Could be one of these 4. 3 up here, and we've got 3 possibilities for 4. Wide open on 5s. 6. One of these 3 for a 7, an 8, and one of these 3 for a 9. All right. Now we can work with this one. So one of these 3 is going to be a 2. One of these 3 is going to be a 5. That doesn't really mark anything out, but we can now come down here. One of these 3 is going to be a 5. One of these 2 is going to be a 2. 3, 4. One of these 2 is going to be a 4. So we get a 4, 6 pair here. So that locks that 5 in. Says that can't be a 5. These 2 can't be a 2. That's going to be a 2. And we can solve this one here. It's going to be a 9. Not a 9 here. That makes that a 9. This one becomes an 8. That makes that a 2, not a 2, and an 8 up here. That leaves a 1 here and 2, 3, 4, 5 here. The rest of this is going to be a 2 here. 1, 2, 3. So one of these 2 is going to be a 4. And 5, 6. One of these 2 is going to be a 7. That means this can't be a 7. That's going to be a 5. That'll be a 7 there. One of these two is going to be 4, so this is going to be 1. This will be a 4. One of these two will be a 1, and the other is going to be a 5. And that's not going to be it, so that's a 5 and that's a 1. That makes that likely to be a 1. Let's not say that yet. That's going to be not an 8. That's going to be not a 2. So that's going to be an 8. That's going to be a 2. That's going to be 6. That'll be a 1. And that turns this into a 5. This becomes a 6, not a 6. One of these two, that one's going to be a 5. And that's going to be our 7. This becomes a 6, 5 here. Not a 6 here, so 6. Not a 2 here, so 2 here. 4. One of these is going to be 1, 2, 3, like a 7 here, and a 9 here. That makes a 7 and 4 here for a solve in 15 minutes and 10 or 30 seconds. 15 minutes, 30 seconds to get this completed. I want to say thanks to everybody who hung out with me, joined in, said hi or not, and I hope you have a great day. We'll get the solution to this puzzle posted. If you weren't able to screen grab what you could, figure it out, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Perhaps. Hang in there. Enjoy.